Welcome to our channel and an episode of us creating and living in a tent in the rainforest here on St. Croix, U.S. Virgin Islands. And we're moving from a completely nice, we just redid a house on the island, mid-island, and it's totally off-grid. It's got solar, we got air conditioning, rainwater collection, which is really common here. And so we're moving from that, going into a tent in the rainforest. Why in the heck are we doing this, honey?
We're doing this because it takes a long time to travel between the middle of the island to the west of the island. And so in order for us to be able to work more effectively, to build our cottage, we had to be in the property. And it would be faster if we are here and we can just like walk to our cottage set structure place versus like driving 30-45 minutes.
Right, so we're just not going to live in a tent just because we want to live in a tent in the rainforest. We're actually going to build a cabin out here, and the travel time, I know it's a half hour one way, so that's an hour loss each day of work. But also, you know, that's me gathering all my tools and material and all that every single day and taking it out here and then picking everything up and taking it back. And that doesn't even include the occasions I've already had where I come out here and I thought I brought a tool or I'm doing something and I was like, man, I really need this, and I don't have it. So, you know, I end up doing maybe some other kind of work or whatever, but not getting that specific thing done that day. So it's a challenge. And also, you know, gasoline is real expensive on the island, and we don't have like a electric car or you know, something that's really good on gas. Yeah. So yeah, it's $4 a gallon. And so that, and plus also we have dogs. We have 3 dogs. Yes, they're going to be, and 2 cats, and they're going to be with us in this adventure in a tent. So we'll see what happens. And also, I don't want to have tools and materials out here and being, you know, not here a whole lot because of theft. We do have a locked gate, but still, we just don't want to invite any problems, right? You know, just chill and do what we can with what we have. I'll cut that. And what else? Oh, so as you saw maybe in the prior video, we have a Teton 16-foot canvas bell tent. And so I've already seasoned it, and that means just basically getting it wet and letting it dry. Do that a couple times. And luckily I set it up in our backyard, and it rained a few times on it, and it came out, you know, the sun like today dried it up real good, and there wasn't even a drop inside the tent. So it was already very waterproof to begin with, but that really tightened things up. And what else? So it's just not the tent. We're going to have a platform, some kind of a deck that we're building, and that's going to have our kitchen area and a shower area and a compost toilet, and we're going to see if air conditioning can be used in this tent because it does get warm here, but it's the humidity that really causes mold and problems in something like a canvas tent with our bedding and all that. So we're trying to figure that out, and we'll be on solar. So I have an inverter, batteries, and hopefully soon we'll have solar panels out, and that's what we're doing. So follow us along and see how we're going to build this and how living in a tent in the rainforest out here is hopefully going to work. We're not sure, I mean, we do have a, you know, if there's a big storm that comes, we're at the end of hurricane season. If a big storm happens, I have a plan to kind of take care of this loose stuff that we have around here, because we are actively building it, and you'll see how it progresses. And also we have the backstop of going back to our house mid-island, and it's concrete walls, and it's pretty safe. So we have that option. And we also have lots of friends that said, you guys are crazy living in a tent. They all say that. And yeah, we're crazy. And they said, feel free, you know, we have extra room here. You can always stay with us if there's a big storm or something.
Bring your animals.
Yeah, something. Yeah. Some of them, I'm sure they're not too keen on us bringing 3 dogs and 2 cats, but a couple are okay with it. So we'll figure it out. Hopefully that doesn't happen. All right. I think that's it for now.
Cheers.
Bye. This is our 16-foot canvas bell tent, and as you notice, the flaps and all that, man, it's been replaced by a wall with windows and a door and a small little AC unit. So this is how I did it. I measured, obviously I just measured the opening, and so it goes kind of flat section about 2 feet up, and then it comes over. So I measured all the way up here and measured everything else. It's equal distant. And then I wasn't able to use a full sheet of plywood, so I had to do this in sections. And I'll show you from the inside view why I did it this way. So the outside, so I have this main area here, and then I cut out the door from this main panel it's like a 3/4 inch plywood, pressure treated. And so I cut this out, and then I cut these out and made sure everything was correct. And then I did kind of the same thing, but different pattern. So when I bolted it together, sandwich it together, don't mind the mess in here, but here, let me move this out of the way. All right, so, and then here on the inside, you remember it was the single section here. Now on the inside, I have it solid here. I have a small piece here, and then this is solid over here. So when I married screw everything together, it actually makes a pretty, very sturdy wall. And I did put tape along all the edges just to make sure that it wouldn't rip the tent or cause any friction issues. And to get it to stay up there, I sandwiched the actual door and the screen. You can see it right here kind of bulging out. And so I sandwiched all of it, and also the bottom. So it's completely waterproof. Although I'll talk about one issue I had. And it actually is working really well. And I tested the AC out yesterday, and that's working great. I did use foam and then this metallic HVAC tape to kind of trim it out. And let's see. And then I did put this trim on the door a little bit so that when it swings closed, it doesn't keep going. It stops here. And let's see. I did put silicone. You can see here the zipper. Here, whoops, right there. So the zipper is silicone just right here. I'll be able to dig that out later, but we're going to be using this tent for a while. And then I used some foam here to kind of seal it. You can see where it goes against this foam, so it does do a pretty good seal. And I went to a local glass shop here on the island, and I begged, and they gave me some nice pieces of glass for a little window there for light, and this also here. So what I did is I used a router and routed one side of this plywood and set it to that depth and set it in there. And then when I sandwiched it all, that's how I did that. So it's sandwiched in the door. And yeah, I mean, we can lock it, and it's not, you know, no zippers and all that junk, you know, what a pain in the butt. And we were going to live in this for a while, so that would get really irritating very quickly. So this is how I did the wall. Now, I did say it was watertight, and then I said, well, wait a minute, we did have an issue. The issue was this seam here, I didn't have sealant on here, so that's silicone, but I didn't have that. And we've had some pretty torrential downpours here, and it just rained really hard here, and then also in the window here, and it leaked, and it went between the boards, and it went on this inside, and I got a puddle of water on the inside. So since I caulked the windows more, and then these two seams, there's been absolutely no water in the tent at all. So that's how I built a wall, and we call it the little hobbit door. So it's what is this, about I think it's about 5 feet up, and that's 6 inches right here in the bottom. So that's how I did it.